Hey there folks, fine and dandy, yes. So, welcome to another Luthier's Lair. And today I think we're going to do a mix between On the Bench and Let's Take a Look Inside Of. And in today's episode of On the Bench and Let's Take a Look Inside Of is the original Gazzbass Falcon Series II, which was intended to be a fretless model, a fretless and headless model, and that's actually what it is. It is that. So it has since become much more than that now, though, of course. But the first attempt at the Series II, I got it on the bench, and it needs some adjustments. So let's go take a look, and let's actually take a look inside of it. Come on. So there it is, yes, the original Falcon Series II. Now the Series II has the same body shape as the Series 1. I'll show you a Series 1 later, except for this part here, because it's a headless base, so it has the headless bridge set up here. And let's start with the body. The body is, the outriggers or wings on here are poplar. That doesn't look like poplar, but just wait. The centre section is oak, and this is an oak veneer on the front, and on the back we have a walnut veneer. And doesn't that look spiffy? You actually see the poplar and the walnut and the oak join there. There's a nice decorative plaque on the back as well, and the base is a little heavy. It's not too bad, it's like 8.5 pounds. Okay, so that's the body. The neck is maple with a rosewood fingerboard, not fretboard, fingerboard, because as you can see the base is fretless, and LED neck, indeedy. As you can see there, where the dot markers are there. I've got 3, 5, 7, 9, 12, 12, 15, 17, 19, 21 and 24 lit up. You can see them there. And they kind of shine under the strings really nice. It's really quite awesomely lovely. And of course we have brightness control on it, and it's wired back to front. I don't know why I did that. That's dim. No, that's correct, actually. Duh. It's the other one that's wired back. Just ignore me. Okay, it has a dual action truss rod in it. There's the truss rod cover. 2 single coil black lipstick pickups with maple trim. And the electronics is one of the first attempts at active electronics. Well, at this particular circuit, which is the Falcon circuit. And we'll be taking a look inside of it later. So what we have here is the LED switch on and off, the brightness control for the LEDs. We have pickup blend here, master volume, bass, middle and treble. Let's go and see if it makes a noise, and after we determine that it makes a noise, we'll take a look inside of it. Plug that in, switch it on, and let me just get out of the way here. Yes, indeed, it makes a noise. Quite powerful. This bass, actually, I was going to put a neck shim in it before, but I had these down low, so I didn't really need the neck shim. But I already put a neck shim in it to raise the neck very slightly, so I've got more play in the saddles here. So the neck needs a lot of adjustment, and it does have actually a bow in it like that, so I'm going to have to do a full setup on it. But we'll probably just take a look inside of it right now and see what we find. As you can see, I've unbuttoned most of the screws on the control plate, and we'll just do a little peeky inside and see what we find, shall we? Awesome. Okay, I have unbuttoned the control panel, and what do we have in here? And actually I've released some wires in here as well, but I always like to keep the wires long so that the next guy in there has stuff to work with. As you can see here are the two pickup wires splitting off to the blend pot, and this was my first attempt. Actually, I designed a preamp and I sent the design away to a manufacturer on the west coast here who built me this from my design. And this was a prelude to the Greta preamp, which is much more complex than this one. So yeah, and there's the switch there for the LEDs, and let's put it like that, and the LED brightness potentiometer. Only one battery in this system, and I split the power out between the LEDs and the preamp. There's plenty of juice there. The LEDs don't take much at all. And there's the actual battery leads there, all grounded. As you can see, it's copper plated on the back of this, and there's a little tab there leading down, and all the copper plating is connected. The pickups are also shielded inside, and it looks like I marked this in green Sharpie. Treble, middle and bass. The volume pot is there, and of course the blend pot has dual inputs to switch between two pickups. So basic preamp setup there. Nice long cables. Now the length of the cable doesn't really matter because I have shielded the instrument. If I hadn't shielded the instrument, then this would pick up RF quite a bit. So that's it. That's taking a look inside of the original Gazzbass Falcon Series II, and we'll button it back up and we'll get to having a look at the neck and setup and stuff like that. So let's go. Yeah, just a quick Brucey bonus here. Here's the Series 1 and Series 2. Let me come out a bit there. Series 2 on the left there, Series 1 on the right. That Series 1 is the second ever made. That's the second one I ever made, and you can see the difference in the shape of the body, very slight difference, especially at the tail. And yeah, there you go. The Series 1 I still make, but I do not make it with the 2-pneumatic style bridge anymore. I use a Hipshock Kick-Ass high mass bridge for the Series 1 now. Yes, due to popular demand. So, yeah, onwards and upwards with the Series 2, right there. And let's have a look at neck relief on it. Brilliant. Okay, here we are on the bench. Checking neck relief. A 12 thou feeler gauge here. Capo on where the first fret would be. Just flatten everything out there. Then I pick this up. It's getting caught. You see there. I will hold this down at the 17th fret. And if you can see, I hope you can see what I'm going to do. Actually, let me just point the camera up a little bit here because it's kind of hard to see what I'm doing. Okay, I'll angle this a bit so you can see there. 17th, and at this the 7th fret dot marker here, I'm going to go just past that. Now, eyeballing it, it looked like there was a bit of a back bow on it. There's not. And that was reflections I had off the lighting in here, and it's actually too straight, the neck. So the truss rod, see that's staying in there, the feeler gauge. See that? See that? not good. We need a little bit of a backbone there. So that's lefty loosey. So we put this down here, and if I could find my 4mm Allen wrench, which I seem to have given them all away. No, here we go. I will just slacken this truss rod off a little bit. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. So it's left loose. A couple of eighth turns there. That's about a quarter turn. Let's see again what we have. Why is this catching? Oh yeah, it's the jack plate that's catching the cloth there. Again, finger on the 17th, and that's a lot more relief on that. Yeah, that's almost fallen all the way through. Let's try the treble side. Sorry I'm in the way, but yeah, that's about right, all the way up there, so that's good. Okay, that is doing it for neck relief right there. I will leave the truss rod off because I'm about to adjust string height now, and you know, just to make sure. I'll button everything up once everything is set, and we'll go from there. String height next. String height time now. Yeah, so for this, this bridge has a locking mechanism at the bottom here for the saddles to keep them in place. That's usually for intonation and to keep the height, of course. So we're going to loosen this off a little bit. It's kind of fiddly. Just got to find that. There you go. Okay, now, do I have the right Allen wrench for these? No, I don't. Let's see if I've got this here. That's good. Okay, so this one's for the locking, this one's for the height. So let's take that out and let's measure the string height. And on this specification of bass, I have designated that the string height should be 4/64, 2 32nds, or 1/16 of an inch above the fingerboard at around about the 22nd fret. That's way too low now. So is that, and that's way too low as well. So they're all way too low, and I expected that because I did shim the neck earlier on because I felt this was going to be the case. So let's start adjusting them up. Hold on a minute. Right back. Okay. Alright, let's start with the G, shall we? I'm getting caught in this beautiful fur-lined piece of flavour here. Yes. Alright. So, let's start off. Where are we at this? We're like, whoa, way too low. So I'm going to bring this up. Full turn on this side, and you see that's sliding back and forward now because I loosened off this. I'm going to try and keep them where they were, the saddles, and that like that. Well, that looks quite reasonable actually now, and I'll go with that. Yep, this one now way too low, like I said. One full turn again. I think they all need a full turn. Trying to keep that saddle in place. Okay, that's about right. Just a touch more. Touch more. There we go. I'm trusting that. This one again, a full turn up, maybe a bit more actually. Let's level this off to the same. Let's measure it. Oh, bang on there. Just a touch. I'm going to have to push that back actually. That's better. Yeah. And this also will be the same. Full turn. Full turn. Oh, it's a bit high actually. I'm going to do just a little bit more. Just a little bit. And the radius on this fingerboard is 20 inches. I didn't radius this board very much at all. I like a flatter fingerboard myself, so. I have a problem here. This is hammering off. There is a flat spot on the fingerboard, so I may have to sand the fingerboard. It's only in one place though. Let me see the string height of that again. And that's about right. Let's just turn it a quarter of a turn, see what happens. That's 5/64, which is just acceptable. Yep. Yeah, that looks good. I don't think I'll have to sand that. I might have to though. There's another little trick I can use, is use a shim on the forward side of the heel to sort of tilt that very slightly. I don't think the neck angle is correct in this, so I might have to revisit that. So that's the string height done for the time being. Okay, there's something going on with the neck. I think it's high at the bottom of the heel. I think there's too much shim in there, probably. And if I'm lucky, what I did was I tacked it down with CA instead of just leaving it loose to float around, and that way it'll be easy to just come off. Little trick, just loosen the strings like this on a bolt on, put some painter's tape around there. That way when you take the neck off, you don't have to unstring it and do all that crap. It's actually quite easy to do. So we're just going to turn this round now, and we're going to take the neck off, or at least get it kind of loose, you know. I just felt like go, ugh. So careful, turn it round like this, and we'll take a look at it, see what's in there. So here we are. Are you there? Yeah, here we are in the neck pocket, and you can see this is how I usually attach the LEDs. There's two spring contacts that make contact with screws that are connected to the LED wires. Let's put some cloth on there, and yes, indeed, it has been shimmed. Now I can, oh wait a minute, sort of work this free. There you go. What I'm going to do, and this is hardwood veneer, which is very hard to compress, of course. So it comes out. This one, let's see if it does the same. Yeah, ping, away it goes. Let's take them all out. So that's all the shims out. I have some on standby here, but I'm thinking, I'm trying to remember back when I made this. I think I made the neck pocket a little too deep. I think that's what it is. Let me just measure that. It should be 0.625, oh, I'm running out of battery power here. 0.625 of an inch all the way, which of course is 5/8 of an inch. That's not bad actually. 626. It's actually bang on. So that means that the bridge recess here, where I recess the bridge, I don't know if you can see it. Wait a minute. Let me just zoom out a little bit. Yeah. The bridge sits in a recess. Okay, and that recess is too deep. That's what's going on. So you can make several adjustments, but the problem is, this is flat. The neck needs to be angled this way slightly because there's a strange stepping going on, so that means I need a shim about here, probably about there, to make everything kind of equal. The problem then being, if I don't get the right truss rod adjustment and it goes that way, I'm going to have a string height that's different here than it is down maybe at the 7th fret or something like that. So I've got to be fairly prudent about this, and I don't want to keep on screwing and unscrewing the neck, because these screw holes will get stripped out and then I'll have to plug them. I don't want to do that, you know. You don't want to do that! So I think a central veneer shim and another hardwood veneer shim here will do the job. So let's go ahead and do that, shall we? Yes, and as usual I'll just tack it down with a bit of CA glue. It's very easy to chip up with a nice little chisel. You just go underneath it and pop, off it comes. Just like a nut, actually, when you're fitting a nut, use 2 tiny dots of CA glue. That's all you need. If you cut the fret slot, the nut slot correctly, and it's a kind of a tight fit anyway, all you need is a couple of dots of CA, because you don't want the next guy going in there to replace the nut and then he's tapping it off and half the neck comes off with it. Okay, just a little tip. Okay, we'll get back to this after I've fitted the shims. Well, I thought about not filming this part, but I thought, what the hell, let's film it. Okay, I've got some shims set up here. That's good for there, and that's good for the middle. And what I'll do is I'll pull this part down where it's interfering with the string height when I bolt it on again, and it'll support this part, and you'll not see it anyway because this is very thin. I don't see it. No, see that's almost disappearing, but you'd be surprised the effect it has. So what I'll do is I'll put tiny dab CA glue on there, tiny dab on there. Okay, and we will fit that about here is what I'm calculating, sort of around about the middle. That's that on there. Yep. Then this one, similar thing, extremely small amount, not much at all, because you want it to lift up with a chisel. You just want to be able to pop it up if you need to readjust. These are generally where it's needed in this instance. I'll just let that sit for a couple of minutes. We'll put the neck back on, see what we got. Awesome. Okay. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the bottom of the heel screws first. And yes, I am using a very delicate power tool here. And just clamp that shit down. Oh, sorry, did I say the S word? Torque control on it. There you go. Okay, that's the neck back on. So, lay the fellow down. I nearly said another sweary word there. Yes, indeed, sweary words. Okay, now I can take the painter's tape off here. Just take it off, and we'll get this tuned up. Well, we'll get it to tension, not tune really, but tension, and we'll see what goes from there. Let's see what we've done. Well, this is going to be a long episode, isn't it? Yes. Anyway, let's pick this up and see what the string height is like from where I last set it. And I bet it's way too high. And indeed it is. You could fit an ocean cable underneath there. In fact, my pinky half goes under it. Let me see. This is going to get out of shot, I think, here, but no, let's just play it here. Yeah, sounds good. String action's too high. It's way too high. Now that tells me, from where I put the shims before, that one, my calipers are crap, and two, I should have put a flatness gauge across the neck pocket when I had the neck off it. That's okay though, no problem. We take the neck off again, and we put a shim pretty near to the end of the heel here. Not exactly the end, but pretty near to it. I do have one ready to go right there. So that's what we're going to do. So the whole neck pocket was just a little too deep for the recess of the bridge here. That's the problem. So this needs to come up slightly. Now, you know what? For the purposes of this episode, I'm just going to put the shim in. But what I really want to do is I will make a veneer shim that covers the whole of the inside of the neck pocket. That will bring the whole neck up, and then that should solve the problem. And then we'll have adjustability in the bridge for string height, and we should be able to go from there. So let me switch this off, and let's get to work. Yes, indeed. Okay, after screwing around with the neck so much, I'm going to make sure the LEDs are still working, and they are, of course. They're pretty well encased in there. Okay, I'm going to have a quick look at the string height. It's still high, but I've got a lot of play down here at the saddle. And yeah, the string height is high. And what the neck needs now is a little bit, it's got too much of a back bow in it, so I need to straighten the neck now. So remember I was telling you, leave the truss rod cover off. That's why. Yeah, and that's way too much string height there. So I'll flatten these out, but first off we'll do some neck relief on it. I can see that the neck relief is going to be really actually pressed down there manually. I've got the 17th. Yeah, there's a big gap there. It's more than a 20,000th of an inch anyway, that's for sure. So yeah, that seemed to work. Raising the neck slightly, and as I say, you know, those are temporary shims. If I get this all into spec, then I'll know exactly what thickness of pocket shim that I need, and I'll make a nice hardwood pocket shim that will blend in here, and it'll be fantastic. Might even help the sound transmission. Let's actually see if it makes a noise still. See what I'm getting here actually when I press down that. Oh wow, yeah, that's much better. Okay, let's do neck relief again, then I'll adjust the string height. You don't need to see that again, I'll go do that now, see what I come up with. Well, after that adventure, yeah, I got the string height down to 5/64, which is fine for a fretless, I think. And again, let's see if it makes a noise. Plug it in and we'll tune it up. No. That's right there. Switch the tuner on, shall we? Oh, should I push this down a bit and just show you the groovy tuner I've got? Wait a minute. I think you've seen it before, maybe if you're a regular watcher. Here it is here, see? Just gonna, oops, tools falling about all over the place. Let's, there you go. So let's see if I got that right. Wow. Pretty close, eh? Green. It says green. I can rely on my ears. And I did, yeah, intonation's good. Yeah. Yeah. All set up. Now I'm just going to do, intonation's good, so I'm going to do a little pickup height stuff here. What I usually do is do that. That's good. For a fretless. So is that. So is that. Actually, this is a bit thick. I usually use my 4mm. Sorry about that, folks. Just enough. Yep. Yes. And yes. Okay. Pickup height is fine. I need to drill holes in here. This is the first ever Falcon Series II, of course. Now I can go and button up the truss rod cover because everything is set. It's all set up, it's all nice. It was a bit of an adventure, this one. Hope you enjoyed it. I don't know if there's going to be a segment of me playing fretless bass because I'm way out of practice on fretless. But I have to get these finicky little screws in. And I'm not very good at that. Yeah, of course I am. Luthier, right? Okay, back soon.
Yeah, so here it is. Have you ever heard a fretless bass that sounds like this?
So, hope you enjoyed that episode of Luthier's Lair on the bench. Let's take a look inside of. Yeah, there are a couple of lessons here. For a small luthier, it's hard to keep storage, you know. And certain basses I made were prototypes. This one being the very first Falcon Series II. There was not much wrong with it at all. And what was wrong with it was easily fixed. It plays fantastically. And yeah, if you can, try and get a really strictly controlled environment, temperature, humidity, to keep stock in. I do have that now, and well worth the investment, I'll tell you, because your stock will last forever if you do have that. So, like I say, hope you enjoyed that. If you enjoy the content of the channel and the stuff I'm doing, consider subscribing if you haven't already. Give the video a thumbs up, helps me out a lot. Thank you guys. And again, as usual, stay safe, be good, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks very much for watching, folks. Cheers. Bye bye.